Okay, so welcome back to another no bullshit review, and on this one is the Devil Loc, and this was modeled after a vintage hardware called the limiter Sure Level Lock. That's why we get Devil Loc, and that was a limiter. Yeah, just a limiter. Now, on this one, what they added is a crunch stage, which is the distortion stage, but essentially it's just a compressor, So the idea of behind this plugin is that you can really destroy the audio level. So you can go add compression and saturation to whatever you put, you feed into this unit. That's the main idea of this one. And this one is great for drums or any other, sources that you really want to crush, or maybe you want to do some parallel processing. So let me just show you what I got right here. It's just a tiny dumb loop, and it just sounds like crap. It's very dynamic. You can hear the claps. This is bypassed, okay? All right. So I'm going to put everything at zero. Everything is at zero. And as soon as I do, turn it on, it's going to do something. It's going to start compressing. Notice that the level goes way down. It's because it's already doing something. It's already compressing. Now, the most important knob of this unit is going to be the mix control, not this ones. This ones, we're going to talk about this ones, but this is the most important part, because right now, with the unit on, it's chopping all the peaks. Notice the original signal, let me just go down the volume, is very dynamic. It's super dynamic. And with this one, we are just kind of smoothing everything. Now, of course, we hear a lot of the compression. It's just crushing everything. So with the mix control, we can kind of make a nice blend. And this will just make the sound very different. Really ugly, much better. And I'm not doing anything, I'm just, blending. So then you have the crush control. And now the crush control is like the compressor stage. And remember this plugin, it's modeled after a limiter. So it's compressing. So the crush what it will do, it will crush the signal. The more you go, it will crush more. And you can actually hear this. If I go maybe to 9, 10, maybe there, and I go all the way down and I play this, of course we can hear the compression already. Right? Okay. I'm going to crush it and listen to the snares. All right, so we can hear that clap going, super big and then goes down. It's like sucking. And this is because, again, this is a compressor and the attack is fixed. It's 1.3. That's the default value for the compressor. Now, of course, we have a release control. This is very important because the release is going to decide when it's going back down or when it's, stop releasing. For example, the slow one, it's 1.7 milliseconds. And the fast one, it's 1.8. So when the clap, when the compressor, lets the clap pass, and then you need to go back to the, the zero level, we can decide if it goes in a slow fashion or fast fashion. And this will make a difference in the sound. If I go slow, you can hear the snare, but if I go fast, it's not that crazy. And of course, just like the blend control, if you provide more, you're gonna get a different sound, and if you go crazy, it goes crazy. Now notice when we are in 10 and we are in slow, and this is what happens with a compressor. If you have a compressor and you put a kind of a, let's say, fast attack, and you go all the way up on the release, and it's very slow release, the only thing you're doing, you're just dropping the level of the signal. You're just lowering the volume. That's pretty much what you're doing. Since this is top down, it's just, top to 10, this is so slow that we only get we reduce the level. We are just lowering the volume. Of course, we get a nice compression, nice saturation, but it's just lowering the volume. With the fast, it's just a little bit different. So always when you're playing with the crush, try a slow and a fast attack, because since this is a compressor stage, it will react differently to different sound sources. In this case, I have a very dynamic, so just kind of reacting right away. But yeah, it will sound different for a horn or maybe a synthesizer, or just it will sound different, different every single time. So you always need to, just check different settings and check different, different values right here. So you always always need to, and this is my my recommendation when you buy a plugin, always go to the manual, because they give you some relevant information about this. The values that you have for the compression, they will change as you move to different settings, and they give you this technical information, and it's a nice read, and it's a nice information that you need to know. So always go to the manual. So then you get the crunch control. I'm gonna go all the way down to this one. So the crunch control is a distortion. And this is what would happen with an amp, for example. If you have a clean amp, you plug a guitar or a synthesizer or whatever, and then you turn the volume up on the amplifier, on the amp, and once you're on 10, you cannot go above that, right? You just cannot, because the amp has a threshold. If you go above, it's going to start compressing, and you're going to get this saturation and then distortion. This is what happens with an amp. Well, this is the same thing. If we grab a guitar and then we put a booster pedal and we go all the way up, the amp is going to start compressing and we are going to get distortion. Well, this is the same thing. As you go up on the volume right here on the knob, you're going to get more and more. And I'm going to lower the volume right here on the track because this is going to get crazy. So I'm going to go play it and go up. Lots of distortion. And this is why it says audio level destroyer. This is what it's doing. It's just compressing and distortion. And this is why I'm telling you the mix control is the most important control of this unit, because you cannot argue that this sounds whack. This sounds crazy. But if you go and you do a nice blend, this already sounds very good. And we are not doing anything. If I go back to the original one, the original sound, maybe let's just bypass from here. It sucks. But with this one, it's really great. And even doing just one on one, it's gonna make a lot of difference. It sucks. It's awesome. Now, as you can see, when you go up on the crunch, everything gets a little bit more brighter, even though we are not boosting the audio level a lot. And it's because it's compressing and we get a lot of the low level of the actual sound. That's why we perceive this as super loud, but it's just distorted and compressed. But we perceive this as loud. So we hear a lot of the harmonics on the upper frequencies, and that is a problem. It sounds harsh. That's why you get the darkness control. So you can go and chug a little bit of the high frequencies. And then again, this one works with the blend control. Very different. Another thing of why you get the mix control is because this is a very good plugin for crushing a drum from just parallel processing. If I grab this and put it on a bus, and then I can control it with the with the level volume, and that's why you get what you get from here. Let me just show you the DAW. This is the sample I'm using. It's a pretty dumb sample. I'm gonna go and put this one, which is the little brother. It's the baby Devil Loc. So notice that you get the Devil Loc, same controls, but you don't get a mix control. This is all the way wet. It's like mix 100%, and you don't get a darkness control. This is the the only bad part of this. But if you want to crush something just like this, you can just get it. I'm gonna go to this track. I'm gonna disable And I'm going to go and play the same track. But now I'm going to go right here and I'm going to go and just say, I want to hear more of this. Right now we are not doing anything, but if I start crushing, of course it goes crazy, but then we could just create a nice blend with just the volume, right? We're just doing parallel processing. That's what we are doing. Again, you have a lot of different choices. But of course, when you use this on this plugin, the Deluxe on a bus, you will need to go all the way 100%, of course. So yeah, just really great, a really great plugin. And you don't have to go crazy. You just need to do it just a little bit, and that's enough. It sucks. Much better. Alright, so if I go to the Soundtoys webpage and then go to products, we can see that they have a lot of plugins and they're all very good. They're all very good. We all know that. And right here we have the Devil Loc Deluxe. It's $129. It's a lot of money, but it's a very good plugin. But I wouldn't buy it for $129. That's just my opinion. It's just too expensive for what it is, which is at the end of the day just a good saturation unit. So yeah, I wouldn't buy it. Now you have the small one, which for $79, but the thing is that you don't get the other controls, and the mix and the darkness control along with the release control is what makes this this plugin really great. So I would go for this one, maybe not for this one. Now the good news is that you get it with a bundle. It's $500, and they always go on sale. Of course, not all plugins, but for example, the Tremolator, which is a great tremolo unit, it's now $29. And usually it's $129, the same as this one. So maybe you should just wait until it goes into, it goes in promotion and then get it for, not a lot of money. This would be my advice. Just wait or get it on a bundle. I have all the plugins because I bought the bundle and with a discounted price as well. So yeah, that's my opinion. It's a great saturation unit for saturation and crush, and it's great for drums or anything really, and it's super easy to use. And the cons is just a bit pricey, right? Just a bit pricey. And my recommendation is wait for sale, all right? Okay, so see you on the next one.